Hey guys, how you doing? Back again. So today, just going to talk about a saying that I quite like. The same water that hardens the egg softens the pasta. And there's another saying I'm going to talk about, but I think that sort of brings into it as well. Now, if you think about it, it's pretty self-explanatory. The next one isn't so much, but the first one's pretty self-explanatory. The same water that hardens the egg softens the pasta. So it's boiling water, like you couldn't get any simpler than water, and then obviously you make it, you heat it up and it boils. Pasta goes all soft and the egg hardens. Like, it literally couldn't be any simpler than that. Like, and the key is not the environment. Like, the environment stays the same. The environment is the boiling water. So that's your environment. That's like standard across the board. That's like the one thing that stays the same. But the pasta gets cooked and goes really soft, and the egg hardens, and people say that because it translates in life. Like, it really does. You could like pick any scenario. Say you get sacked from your job, and what are you going to do? Are you going to break down and cry about it and moan to all your friends, or like go into like a spiral of depression? Or are you going to think, oh, now this is an opportunity that I could sort of focus on myself, maybe retrain, look at like my options, get a better job, work towards something. So there's two people, but they've both got a job and they both get the sack. So there's two ways of looking at it. There's the negative way where, oh, my life, oh, poor me, and you're a victim, and oh, why me all the time, and what am I going to do? I've got bills to pay, and I'm never going to find another job. I might as well just give up now. Or you can think, awesome, maybe I'll start my own business. Maybe I'll go back to school. Maybe I'll finally get that job that I was always too scared to quit my job to do. And that happens all the time. But they're saying most men live lives of quiet desperation. That's what it's talking about. They're not doing what they want to do. I think that's why people have like midlife crises. They just get to an age where they think, actually, fuck it, I'm just going to do what I want. It happens all the time. Or people think, actually, I'm going to start doing things for myself and things that I want to do, and maybe it could be like seen as a little bit selfish, but why shouldn't you do what you want to do? You should be the main character in your own movie. So in your life, you're the main character, and it's like that mentality is, if I have that victim mentality and I need saving, so I need someone to come and save me, otherwise I'm just gonna like be in despair, then you're always relying on someone else. You need to take things into your own hands, really. So it's all about mindset and how you approach the issue. So what's the issue? Oh, I've lost my job. Okay, well let's look at my options, and all my options. There's no fear now. I'm not scared about losing my job anymore, or quitting my job because I don't know what's gone on. the job isn't there anymore. So I have a clean slate to start again, you know. Like you say, you split up with your missus and you're like, oh, okay, well now it's time to spend some time on myself, you know, do the things that I want to do. And it's all about this perspective of it. And that's the thing, to way to look at it, okay. The one I was actually thinking about on the drive home, the egg and the pasta one popped into my head, but it's the what I was looking at is the thinking about is the when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. And I was trying to there's obviously a simple answer, you know, try and make the best out of it. But have you ever thought about how you're going to do that? You know, obviously you just bang loads of sugar in to sweeten it up. But what is the sugar? Is the sugar is it loads of shit, or is it like all the good bits that you can think of? You know, what can I add to my life that's going to make it better and sweeter? Obviously we all know sugar's really bad for us and we shouldn't have it. But there's, like, if we're talking about like references, you know, the sweet stuff could be spending more time with my mates, or being in the gym more, or, you know, being more active, find myself a girlfriend, or spend more time with my family, you know, get a better job. So it's so we've got the environment, how we look at it, how we look at the situation. You know, yeah, we could be in a really bad situation, but it could be a springboard into something far greater than what I was involved in before. You know, I think that's the thing. It's like what can come out of it. You know, there's so many sayings like the night is darkest before the dawn. Life is like pulling back an arrow. The further life pulls you back, the more energy you're going to have going forwards. And the reason why there's so many like that is because that is the truth. You know, it's sometimes life's got to be a bit shit and a bit bad for you to appreciate the good. If it's good all the time, it becomes mundane, and it just, in like, it's a level. You need those ups and downs so you can really appreciate what you have got. Because if you've always had it, and that's why people that are born into wealth find like a lot of money, like a struggle with a lot of addictions, because they've never had the low, so they have to get an artificial high because they can't get that natural high through life. And I think that's why, like, doing sports is so good, because, you know, you're not going to win all the time, and when you lose, it's really, really bad. It's so horrible. And if you know what loss truly is, when you get that victory, when that victory comes, or maybe you've had victories and they've been sweet and you thought that was really good, but then you get a loss, you're like, oh, this is what it could feel like. Then you get that win, you know, there's no better feelings. And that's what people are chasing all the time, and that's what people are chasing in life, is that winning feeling. That moment you know that you've been successful at whatever endeavour that you're trying to do. So it's like say we're doing jiu-jitsu, and like when you start jiu-jitsu and you keep getting tapped out all the time, that first submission is going to be the sweetest submission you will ever have. Because you're like, wow, now I know the possibility, and that's super addictive, and that's why people get addicted to jiu-jitsu. Is or any like physical pursuit, when if you're weightlifting and it's that first time you've cleared that away, or first time you score a goal or a try or hit a six or clear up the table and like sink every ball on off the break, you know, all of this kind of stuff. That's where it all comes from. That awesome feeling of success. And to bring it back to the first point, it's all about perception. So when you've lost, how are you going to react? How do you react to a loss? I always say, like, a champion is defined by how they react to a loss rather than a win. You know, are you going to blame everybody else and say it's everybody else's fault, or are you going to say, right, what I should have done was this, 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 and I'm going to go and do it? You know, look at GSP, arguably one of the most dominant fighters ever. When he lost to Hughes, he was like, right, what do I need to do wrong? I wasn't good enough, so I'm going to go back and I'm going to be better. He didn't blame anyone else. He took the responsibility on himself. And then you look at Jajek, and she took the loss, and it was, the weight cut was bad, and I blame my coaches, and, you know, always someone else's fault. And then she come back and she lost again. Whereas GSP, he took it upon himself that it was he was at fault, and he made the changes he needed to do, and he come back and got the win. I'm not saying Jajek would have got the win if she did the right things, but you know, I think it'd have been much more successful, and you'd have been happier about it as well. Taking personal responsibility for your failures means that you're going to be able to take a much greater personal responsibility for your victories. If it's always someone else's fault, then you're always going to be struggling. So there's there's a bit of that as well. So it's just I've been thinking about it, all about mindset. How you approach things is like super key. So next time you get an obstacle pops up, I just think of it as, okay, well, this is just going to give me another chance to prove to myself that I can do it. I don't know if you'd listened to the Michael Chandler episode with Joe Rogan. I thought it was fantastic, and he said, you know, you've got to know that what you're not doing right, but you've also got to give credit to what you are doing right. You've got to be objective about it. So I'm not doing this well, but I'm doing this well. You know, like, you can say negative things about yourself and finish it off on a positive, so you're not leaving it. And that's one thing with coaching. You can't ever leave a conversation with a student on a negative and be like, oh yeah, you've done this wrong, but you're doing this really well. Because everyone does things wrong, but everyone's doing things right as well, and it can't be all negative, and it certainly can't be all positive, because you don't want to be blowing smoke up someone's arse all the time. And if you've got that internal dialogue as well, you don't want to be blowing smoke up your own arse and get on the hype train, but you also don't want to be so negative and degrading to yourself that you get disheartened and get down on things. So, you know, there needs to be a healthy balance. It all starts out with a positive mindset. You know, the boiling water. Are you going to be the egg, or are you going to be the pasta? Are you going to get all soft, or are you going to get hard and fitter and stronger and better and more intelligent and wiser on all these things? You know, iron sharpens iron. You know, if you iron sharpens iron, but iron isn't going to sharpen cheese, is it? You know, so you've got to make sure you're the iron and surround yourself with iron, so you can be a much better person. You know? That Ricky Lundale 1% better every day. It's a bit like that. Like I want to be better every day. Every day I go to bed, I'm a better person than when I woke up. Like it doesn't matter what it is. Like if I've listened to a podcast or I've done a bit of reading, I've done a bit of training or air healthy, or Aubrey Marcus was on Fire with the Kid, and he's like, it doesn't have to be I've ate clean for a whole week. I only had half a slice of cake instead of fucking 3 slices of cake. That's a win. If you set out that you were going to eat loads of shit and you didn't eat as much shit as you set out to do, you had a little bit of control, a little bit of discipline, then that's success. You know, little victories every day is going to be better than one victory, like a massive victory one day, and then no victories for the rest of the week. Little victories every day is what it's about. I haven't read the Aubrey Marcus book, but I will do, and I'm gonna put something up about it. I probably won't read it. I'll get the Audible because I'm a busy man. I can listen to it at work, and I can listen to it in the car, and it just works a little bit better for me. I can feel a little bit lazy if I'm just sitting down doing nothing. So I always want to be moving, and you know, if I can hit 2 birds with one stone, if I can go to work and I can be like I'm fitting kitchens at the moment, if I can fit a kitchen and listen to a Jordan Peterson lecture, you know, not only am I earning money and improving my skills as a carpenter joiner, I'm also making myself wiser and more educated, and have a better look on life. Then obviously that's going to be a better option. So, you know, yeah, you don't have to sit for an hour a night reading the books and make so you can go tell your mates that you're intelligent because you read. Just get an Audible and just, you know. And actually, I would suggest Jordan Peterson's. I downloaded all of his podcasts, all of his lectures on my phone, and I've listened to them all, and they are actually really, really helpful. So if you like that sort of thing, well, even if you don't like it, go listen to it because it's so brilliant. He's 100 years. He's going to be someone that people look back and think he was one of the great philosophers of the 21st century for sure. You know, they're definitely gonna look back and think he was well ahead of his time. So, little recap on whatever the circumstance, it's you that dictates how it shapes you. It's your mental focus and ability and perspective is going to affect how it affects you. So if you approach it positively, it's going to have a positive effect. If you approach it negatively, it's going to have a negative effect. So be positive, don't be negative. Okay. Just a bit of that, you know. This is quite a long one today. I just proper went off on one. I didn't really mean to. I was only going to do a little one, but you know, perspective, how you look at things. If you get a chance, listen to the Michael Chandler podcast. I found it really helpful. His perspective on things was really good, and Jordan Peterson, he's a brilliant man. So go listen to some of his stuff as well. You know, you want to save the world, start by tidying your room. How can you help anyone else if you can't help yourself and get your own house in order? You know. So, right, I'm off to jiu-jitsu. We're doing some back attacks today. We're gonna do slide and collar, and I'm gonna hit an armbar from the back, and then hopefully have a little bit of a spar, and then see if I can get a training in session on Saturday. I'll see you around, guys. Tell me what you think and send me a message. I appreciate all the comments. So take it easy, guys.